If someone had told you a few years ago that one day Elon Musk would cut off the internet of criminal syndicates in Myanmar and put an end to their reign, you'd have probably thought they were making up a wild story just to get clicks. But no, it's happening. Elon Musk is now waging war on Southeast Asia's scam empires in his own way. In October 2025, Elon Musk's company SpaceX officially announced the deactivation of more than 2,500 Starlink satellite internet devices in the border areas between Myanmar and Thailand, regions long known as havens for transnational scam operations. Yes, you heard that right. The very technology created to connect humanity and bring internet access to remote corners of the world had been turned into a tool for fraud, captivity, and human suffering in those same remote areas. Starlink was Elon Musk's dream project, a vast constellation of tens of thousands of satellites orbiting Earth to deliver internet access everywhere. From the Sahara Desert to the Amazon rainforest, anywhere you can see the sky, you can connect. All it takes is a small antenna and a router. No cables, no local providers, just high-speed internet anywhere. It sounded noble and world-changing. But in the borderlands between Myanmar and Thailand, people weren't using Starlink to study online, live stream, or date. They were using it to operate digital prisons where thousands of Vietnamese, Chinese, Thai, and other nationals were imprisoned and forced to scam others online every single day. These scam compounds were massive, brightly lit buildings with hundreds of computers running 24/7. Each employee was forced to pose as handsome men or beautiful women on social media, charming victims and luring them into fake investments or crypto schemes. In the past, these scam centers relied on traditional ground-based internet. That meant if a government like Thailand decided to cut the power or block cross-border networks, the scammers would go dark immediately. But then came their savior, Elon Musk's Starlink. Everything changed. Starlink doesn't need fiber optic cables. It's satellite internet beamed directly from space. SpaceX's thousands of mini-satellites orbit the Earth at around 550 kilometers altitude, constantly moving and blanketing the planet with coverage. On the ground, users just need a small dish pointed at the sky, much like old satellite TV antennas. That dish receives the signal and sends it to a Wi-Fi router indoors. So even if local authorities shut down land networks or cut the power grid, as long as the scammers had a generator, a power bank, and a clear sky, they could keep running their criminal operations, streaming internet from the heavens. Starlink, in short, became a Wi-Fi in the sky, independent of any government control. That's why countries like Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar struggled to shut these syndicates down. The criminals were no longer tethered to terrestrial networks. In early 2025, Thailand tried once again to block internet traffic across the Myanmar border, hoping to choke off the scam networks. But just weeks later, investigators discovered hundreds of Starlink dishes sprouting on the rooftops of these compounds. Inside, thousands of young people were typing away, each managing dozens of fake profiles, fake spouses, fake financial experts, fake lovers. These were full-fledged corporations of deceit, complete with HR departments, KPIs, team leaders, punishments, and bonuses. Fail your sales target, and you'd be beaten, electrocuted, or starved. And the entire operation ran on Starlink. As news of this spread all the way to Washington, D.C., U.S. lawmakers launched an inquiry. Was SpaceX unintentionally aiding criminal networks in Southeast Asia? The answer wasn't simple. Starlink devices are sold through authorized dealers, but many units are bought second-hand, smuggled, or resold through third countries. Some reports suggested that scam operators bought the equipment from Thailand and smuggled it across into Myanmar. It's like Apple selling iPhones. What users do with them is beyond the company's control. When Elon Musk learned about this, he was reportedly dismayed. His goal was to empower the poor, not to help criminals enslave innocent people. After weeks of investigation, SpaceX confirmed it had tracked and geolocated thousands of suspicious Starlink signals along the border. They then disabled over 2,500 devices believed to be used by scam syndicates. In other words, SpaceX blacklisted those connections. Immediately after the signal cutoff, the Myanmar military launched surprise raids on several of these compounds, seizing at least 30 Starlink units and arresting multiple ringleaders. Over 1,000 people fled the area, on motorbikes, trucks, or on foot, many of them victims trafficked from Vietnam, Cambodia, or China, some as young as 18 or 19. Starlink, the very technology that once sustained the scam empire, had now become the key to freeing thousands once its signal was shut down. Elon Musk has long been seen as a visionary eccentric, the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, the dreamer aiming to take humanity to Mars. Few would have imagined he'd one day become an accidental ally in the war against Southeast Asia's cybercrime industry. No international treaty required SpaceX to cut service in Myanmar, but Elon Musk understood that if Starlink became synonymous with human trafficking and fraud, his reputation, built over decades, would crumble. So his move wasn't just a technical decision, it was a moral and political statement, showing that he takes responsibility for the technology he created. Zooming out, the Starlink case is just the tip of a massive iceberg. For years, Southeast Asia, especially Myanmar and Cambodia, has become the world's largest hub for online fraud. Why? Because of chaotic borders, weak governance, cheap labor, and corruption. Myanmar's civil war left border areas lawless. Poor workers are lured by fake high-paying job offers only to be imprisoned and forced to scam others online. Add in widespread smartphones and fast internet, and the ingredients for a digital crime empire are all there, with some local officials even protecting these operations for kickbacks. Starlink was the final piece that made these operations nearly unstoppable, until now. In 2025 alone, over 100,000 people were trafficked into forced online labor, including around 4,000 Vietnamese. China prosecuted 16 members of a major scam ring on the Myanmar border. The Philippines amended its anti-money laundering laws to get off the UN's gray list. And now, a man halfway across the planet had to step in because his invention had become a weapon of global crime. This isn't even the first time Starlink has been misused. In some Middle Eastern conflict zones, it's been used to bypass censorship and even for information warfare. Technology itself is neutral. It depends on who wields it. In the hands of a chef, a knife creates a meal. In the hands of a criminal, it becomes a weapon. Elon Musk understands this better than most. That's why SpaceX's decisive action in Myanmar sends a clear message. Internet freedom does not mean freedom to exploit others. Following SpaceX's intervention, many Southeast Asian nations have begun tightening control over satellite internet devices. Thailand now requires all Starlink units to be registered like mobile SIM cards. Cambodia has started fining companies selling unlicensed devices. Meanwhile, in Myanmar, once bustling compounds now stand abandoned, dark, broken-glassed buildings that once glowed 24/7. Some victims have been repatriated. Many ringleaders have fled. A portion of the dark internet has gone silent, all because of a decision made by a man sitting half a world away. Ironically, Elon Musk never set out to fight Southeast Asian scammers. He just wanted to protect his brand. But in doing so, he freed thousands of captives, dismantled hundreds of scam hubs, and ignited a broader cleanup of the region's digital underworld. You may love or hate Elon Musk, the Mars dreamer, the controversial billionaire, but in this case, most would agree he did the right thing. In an era where online scams stretch from the Philippines to Cambodia, from Vietnam to Myanmar, a single network cutoff by Elon Musk has shaken an entire criminal empire. It's a powerful symbol of our times, when a billionaire thousands of miles away can, with a few keystrokes, turn the lights off in an empire of deceit. Technology itself is neutral. It depends on who wields it. In the hands of a chef, a knife creates a meal. In the hands of a criminal, it becomes a weapon. Elon Musk understands this better than most. That's why SpaceX's decisive action in Myanmar sends a clear message. Internet freedom does not mean freedom to exploit others.